Welcome to our first video ever,
Welcome back.
if you've seen the intro.
Of course.
Today we'll be talking about a topic that we both think is crucial to the dating life today, and that's...
You must say it like the alphas. We're passionate about it. You're very passionate about it, in fact.
And that's how movies ruin dating.
Well, what do you think?
First of all, I think we've all seen those rom-coms, and I think The Notebook, which is the most popular romantic movie ever.
Yep, sadly.
And I'm not saying those are bad movies, far from it. I'm just saying that they give a different perception of what dating life should be to the average consumer. For example,
Okay,
speaking from personal experience,
okay.
have you ever had a partner who romanticized everything and wanted her life to be a movie?
Yeah, I hated that. Fucking sucked. Jesus Christ, I couldn't wait for that relationship to be over.
Now that thing, personally, and this is just me just talking, as he said in the intro, shit, I believe that comes from people watching those movies at a young age without a concept of what dating should be. And the moment they go into their first relationship, they go based off of that, because they do not have any previous experience to it. They do not have any conversations with their parents, with their brothers and sisters, if they have those, about what dating should be. So once you go into that scene, you're just left on your own. So the only thing you can do is take inspirations from what you've seen about it, even though what you've seen is far from reality. What do you think?
I think the problem is even before movies. Like, before movies, you had stories. Older people would tell younger generation stories about princesses, knights, whatever. And it's always romanticized. Always more ideal than it should be. While in reality, dating and forming a relationship is fucking mediocre. There's a whole lot of nothing. There really is. It doesn't always have to be up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And that's the problem with modern rom-coms and modern movies. Because they're a movie. They're supposed to be action. They're supposed to be up and down, up and down. If it isn't that, it's gonna fail. It's not gonna be a successful movie. But here's the problem. People are inspired by it, as you said. The problem is that that's not real life. And it's very difficult to separate that from real life. Why? Because you see something that's ideal. You see a picture, an image, an ideal on the screen. Wow, okay, this person looks great, I want to look like that. This person has certain hardships. I have the same hardships. They can overcome them. Okay, I want to be like this person. But see, the problem is, you're not that person. You're you. You should reflect within yourself. And that's a problem that a lot of people don't understand. To have a good relationship, you have to be able to reflect within yourself, not outwardly, not onto an image on the screen. If you want to be identical to some character on the screen, of course you're going to be miserable, because you're not being yourself. You have no idea who the hell you are. How the hell are you going to be fitting for a relationship? You don't know who you are, you don't know what your values are. Hell, you don't even know what you're looking for, except for, oh yeah, the thing on the screen.
I mean, it's not just that. The characters in shows that we see or in movies that we see, they do have characteristics that people can identify themselves with, you know? You can correlate, you can find yourself in a character, but like you said, you are not the character, because the character is an exaggeration of human emotions. It has... Every single character has to have a flaw and has to have, like, its own pros when we're recording the movie, when you're filming the movie. So that's why, for example, if we take any rom-com, any teenage romance movie, what's the first thing that every character has in common? They are anxious, they doubt themselves, some are even depressive, they are unliked by their peers, they're artsy, they're weird, they're musicians, they're painters, which it's super easy to find yourself being like that character, since it's made for people like that. However, that character, I mean, the actor that's playing that character, they're fucking gorgeous or beautiful. Like, at most, at most, they're just wow,
Yeah.
and most are even better than that, better looking than that. So at the start, you take what you want to experience from a movie that shows a super attractive person who's not even a teenager at most.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Oh, how do you do, fellow children?
Exactly.
Steve Buscemi, best scene.
You try to coexist, and not to coexist, but to base your whole existence on a character that has nothing to do with being a teenager. There was a movie, I don't remember what it was called, where the teenager talks to like an older person, to not an older person but like an adult, and he says how he hates his teenage years because everything sucks, blah blah blah, you just suffer. And the guy says that's the most beautiful part of being a teenager. You have to suffer. What those movies don't portray is the suffrage of being a teenager. They don't portray the angst. They don't portray how you actually perceive the world. Yes, of course, they are, they are anxious, the characters, but they do not go through the everyday struggle that a normal teenager would go through. So, to base your whole personality and to expect your relationship to be something like a relationship you can find in a movie is completely absurd to me. I do not believe that any sane person can have a long and lasting relationship if you just base it off of standards that you see in a movie. But that's just me. I might be wrong. But I wholeheartedly believe that if a relationship is only based on traits you find in another character, well, not in another character, but in a character in a movie, that relationship is not gonna last. And that's the problem why every single relationship today, like, the most is gonna go to is like 6 months at most.
Yeah.
Every single relationship today is short. And I believe that's the problem. What do you think?
Well, there's a lot of information you throw around in there. One thing I do agree with you is that life isn't short as a movie. Because people don't have the right expectations when watching a movie and translating that into real life.
True.
A movie in its course can be seen in a couple of hours. Life is anything but a couple of hours. Life is years upon years, if you're lucky. If you don't get spawn killed.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Get back here. Okay.
I'm leaving you to die on that hill alone, dude.
Good. I like dying on hills. It is my favorite activity, actually. Okay. What I said. Life isn't in a couple of hours. Life takes years. There's a lot of processes in life, a lot of challenges, a lot of hurdles to overcome, to finally even get a glimpse of life, even to experience a bit of life. Well, in a movie, everything is structured. And that's actually the biggest problem. You think that, oh wow, everything is so chaotic, like they're anxious, they're unsure in themselves, and something magical happens, and then instantly everything gets fixed. That's planned. That's structured. That's the script. That doesn't guarantee that your life will be like that. Why? Because every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Yeah, but that doesn't mean life will be like that. Life has a beginning, a long-ass middle, and an instant end. No movie is like that. No movie has an instant beginning, a long-ass middle, and just an instant end. It would be a shitty movie if it did. And that's the problem. Coming back to what I said, it's arranged. Life is chaotic. It's uncertain. You can't be certain what you'll be getting yourself into. So if you go in with these expectations, if I do this, this will come out for sure. Not necessarily. A quote I always like to remind myself is from Mr. Data and from Star Trek. In one altercation he has with Captain Picard, he asks him, I did everything wrong. Why did I still lose? That's life. You can do everything right, and you can still lose.
I mean, it's not just... And I totally agree with you that it's scripted. It's supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
Tell me how many times have you seen it in your personal life when you were studying in high school or in university, where you have the average outcast being approached by their dream, let's say potential partner. How many times has that happened? If someone isolates themselves in real life, the probability of someone coming up to them to talk to them is slim to none.
Yeah.
That person being their potential partner is even slimmer.
Yeah.
So
That happens in movies.
exactly.
And in our mind. Because we like to fantasize a lot. It's human.
I mean, daydreaming is a movie in its own.
Yeah, it is. But believing in those daydreams, now that's a problem. That's a serious problem.
It is.
But hey, what do you guys think?
Leave us a comment down below if you agree, or tell us your opinion.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.